happening? What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Um, this let me change this real quick. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. So this live comes from. I was working a lot yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to get on. But today, just by happenstance, I wound up having two conversations that I came out of nowhere about politics with non-black people, and I'm listening, and I'm like, so basically, you got non-black people looking at the black community as a faction of society that does the right thing by voting Democratic. I'm not saying you're wrong or right for voting Democratic if you're black. That's not what I'm getting into. But what I'm saying is you're viewed, it seems to me that we're being viewed by other people of how we, you know, if you vote for Trump, you're crazy. I was telling both people, I said, statistically, black women voted for Biden at 91%. What's up, America? It's Kimmy. Who it? 91%. Black men voted at, what's up, at 80%. And I was like, as far as the racial demographics in America, the black community voted at a higher clip racially than any other group. So why these other non-black groups concerned about how black people vote in society? And I'm listening to what they're saying. I'm listening to the conversations we having. We having a conversation, but I'm also listening. What's up? What's up? What it, Melvin? I'm listening. I'm taking in what's being the information, and I'm looking like, oh, okay. We supposed to be stupid. Okay. We just supposed to do what you say. And at the end of the day, so now what's popping? So we're supposed to do what you say because we're doing the right thing. But if we're doing the right thing, how come the country doesn't feel the same way? And what I mean by that is, how come the country don't vote at the same rate that we do, right? Because all these other groups, they have their own personal interests. And first and foremost, this is why I say, they like to talk race, gender, and politics at black men, not to black men. And mine was popping. And what I'm hearing is, black people as a collective group need to do what other groups in America are too scared to do. And the truth is, it has nothing to do with that. This all has to do with leverage and money. Because you got white men and white women who voted as a majority Republican, right? You got Hispanic men and Hispanic women who voted predominantly Democratic, but 30 to 45% Republican, if I'm not mistaken. You got Asians near the same thing. O'Shea Lennox was popping. Methuselah. And then you got us, right? And I thought about this while I'm listening. I was talking to one of the people that brought it up. Yeah. What's up, Taz? LeBron still ain't the GOAT. Anyway, what you have is, I'm talking to these non-black cats, and they're like, well, you should vote Democratic. And I'm like, look, I was like, to me, I don't care either way because you're not going to do nothing for us as black people. And they're like, what do you mean? I can't believe you said that. And I'm sitting there like, the real 23, too. 23 and 9, we know what it is. Financially, all Democrats or Republicans are not going to really do anything to help black people as a group financially. You see that. You see you did that, Taz. Disciple, what's popping? So what winds up happening is we got this scenario. It's like I said, listen, you look at other groups in America, they leverage their vote. What's up, Sister George? Yeah, I saw your story. That's dope. You see these other groups leveraging their vote. This is why they have a good amount of the population on both sides. We're the only group that doesn't have a significant amount of people voting on both sides. And it was like, well, America is racism is dying in America. And this is why I had to get to this topic. Because people are actually talking to black people as if racism is gonna stop somehow, depending on how you vote. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Racism is not gonna stop. It's not gonna slow down. It's not gonna. What's up, Eric? It's not gonna. Be. It's not gonna disappear, and it's a thing of the past. Because what I'm seeing is these groups actually believe that somehow. See. And I was talking to somebody white and somebody Asian today. Those are the two people that came up to me about this. So, if y'all don't, a lot of times these people know about history, but they don't know about immediate history. And what I mean by that is they can tell you about slavery and the Civil War and that stuff, but they can't tell you about the things that affected your parents and grandparents. And I was telling them that, you should know you benefited from it. You can't play stupid with us. You benefited from it. But you talking politics at me as a black man. And why I'm saying that is because the race part came up predominantly. And I'm like, well, and I asked the question to the Asian guy today. I was like, I tell you what, if you think racism gonna stop, you name me a day in American history where racism didn't exist in America. And he's like, never. I'm like, exactly. So I don't know why you think no matter which president is in office, racism is gonna somehow stop, because it's not. So I was like, us as black people, we kind of, racism is just built into the country. It's not like it's gonna stop. And like, things are changing. Like, no, they're not. Things are changing for you. And the interesting thing about talking to the Asian guy was his he brought up racism and discrimination from a black to Asian sense, and his best examples were when Shaq made the fried rice comment to Yao Ming, and when Floyd Mayweather made the fried rice comment to Manny Pacquiao. And for me, I get how it's offensive. You get what I'm saying? I get that. But he couldn't let that go, and it still bothered him to this day. And I was laughing. I was like, well, it's kind of interesting, because if that's the best you got, you don't really experience that much racism. If that's the best you got, it was like, because our kids get it, your kids don't get it. What's up, Torrance? So I'm thinking to myself, you're not gonna bring up Peter Liang and how Asians from New York to California were protesting to make sure that Asian cop didn't go to jail for shooting a black dude in New York. That's not, that part doesn't, it kind of, slips people's minds, right? Same thing with, the white folks who, it's not that bad. Things are changing. Really? Really? You sure about this? And they're like, well, I don't have we're not gonna have these same issues. Like, how are we not gonna have these same issues? Because racially, you want to talk about race and racism, but you don't want to talk about the finances. See, talking at black men about race in America is really ignorant. Because what you want, black men to do is say something like, I feel your pain. You feel my pain. We the same. No, we not. No, we not. Appreciate it. What's up, John? DW, what's going on? It's not the same. Because something could possibly happen to me one day, and I knew a black guy one day, and I saw somebody black get something unfair to them happen one time, and I didn't think it was right. Listen, I was like, listen, man, this is stupid. Like, the white cat was talking to me about. I was like, so what you think Democrats gonna do that's gonna change things for black people financially? It's like, well, prison reform. I was like, what about all the people that don't go to prison? Why are we why when you come to black people, people are so concerned about people in prison, but not the people who are free, not the working people, not the business people. You know what I'm saying? Not the people who are innovative and inventors, not those people. Prison reform. Okay. So basically what you're telling me, everybody of other groups who aren't in prison, you know, they actually can get stuff from the government, but we need to worry about the people who locked up. And and in our population, they're a minority. Trent was popping. So it's like, okay, you talking at us about this. You know, nothing about it. I mean, you really think the government gonna change legislation about police killing black folks? No, no, no. They getting off for killing their own folks. You think they gonna change anything for us? Absolutely not. I tell you, you want to know how I know this? So Minnesota voted predominantly for what's up, I am, for Biden. There's a blue state, Minnesota. Bet you that blue state won't convict not one of those four cops for killing George Floyd. I bet you that won't happen. It's not good. Anybody disagree? You want to put a little wager? Think it's gonna happen? I don't. If we change the laws, no. There's always a loophole. And then we were talking about race and the fact of, what do you call that? He was talking to me about, well, it'll help taxes. It'll help the rich people. They'll pay more taxes. I was like, how's that gonna help black people? I said, because rich people not gonna pay more taxes. He's like, what? I'm like, listen, if you think rich people in America are gonna pay more taxes in America, you out of your mind. He's like, but Biden gonna make the rich pay. I was like, Biden's rich. I was like, look at it like this. I was like, this ain't got nothing to do with race. This got something to do with math. What's up, Paul? You got 100 senators, right? He's like, okay. 30 of them, all 100 of them are rich. And 30 of them want rich people to pay high taxes. They're outnumbered by the 70 that's like, no, I'm not doing that. I was like, and even if you could pass that, what do a lot of rich people own in America? Commercial real estate. So guess what? Even if you got these people to pay taxes and you voted for it, they're going to just use all the loopholes in commercial real estate to not pay taxes at the same rate. They got trusts, they got businesses, they got LLCs, they got entities. You know what I'm saying? They got corporations that, hey, they're not going to be paying a thing. Amazon, how much does Amazon pay in taxes? Anybody? As much profit as they make, how much do they pay in taxes? How much do all of these oil and gas companies pay in taxes? Exactly, peanuts. So you got American companies and American corporations right now. You can okay, they don't pay taxes now. What you gonna raise the peanuts that they paying? No. You got to change the tax laws for that. You gonna change the tax laws? Absolutely not. Because this is one thing that black men do know about politics. If you are getting paid by both sides, I mean, if you're paying, if people are getting paid, if both sides are getting paid by the same people, ain't a damn thing gonna change. One thing he's talking about was campaign reform. Like, Democrats to change campaign reform. It's like you can't. Democrats can't change campaign reform. You could say you don't want PACs and super PACs. You still getting paid by the same businesses and corporations. So you can't have a super PAC, but you're gonna have a dinner. You're gonna have a fundraiser. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have donations, and guess what? All them donations you're gonna get gonna be individuals from the same company that have the same company headline. Jim Johnson from, Pfizer. Nick, Kaminsky from Pfizer. That's all you're gonna have is the same thing over and over and over again. So you're gonna know, oh, this is who supports me. So you can act like, this is not gonna happen, but even if you change campaign reform, you're not gonna change the way, you're not gonna change the money getting from business to politician. Which crack. Hey, don't be deleting so. Man, hey, hold up. Let me do this. Man, it's deleted by Google. So what now? Look where you at. I got you. I made your ass a moderator because you ain't say nothing but exactly. you know, One Globe, what's happening? So now we got this situation where I'm listening to the brother talk about it. I'm like, and he's getting what I'm saying. Hey, who that? He's getting what I'm saying to the point it's like, what's up, 316? Yeah, he's like, okay, so what are we actually gonna do? It's like nothing. Nothing. You can't change the way this government is set up. And talking at black men about, the racial aspect of how this is gonna affect black men is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The other guy that was Asian, look, both of us not white. Just because we both not white don't mean, we both don't, we both are on the same end of racism. It doesn't, and that was one of the things I was telling the Asian guy. I was like, listen, man, every other group benefits from our, as a black racist, loyalty to just voting Democratic. Because all these other groups are leveraging the black Democratic vote for the people of color, the minority population vote. And I was looking at something with, what was that? Kari Champion Jamil Hill. Great Black Shark, what's happening? And they were talking to Chelsea Handler about, what's going on with white women? How did they vote 55% for Trump? And I'm like, how do black women not know white women by now? I mean, you've been in feminism this whole time. You've been with the whole LGBT thing. They're the teachers of our children, and you don't know them yet. Y'all on the same team. You're a minority, she's a minority, the womanhood, the sisterhood. Y'all don't know them yet. Are you kidding me? But talking to black men, talking at black men about politics with black men, what you need to do. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? See, earlier when I said it was about money, so I was telling the white guy, the Asian guy, something about the financial part. And, and they were like, okay. He's like, well, don't you think, it was telling, white guy was telling me, he said, you know what if Democrats help black people with not gentrification, but revitalizing the community? I was like, that's not gonna happen. I was like, what do you mean that's not gonna happen? I said, listen, okay, first and foremost, the only way that you need people with money to buy the land or buy the properties and renovate them, right? Like, yeah. So I said, so you think white people are gonna just create a bill to revitalize for black people to revitalize black neighborhoods. Ain't gonna happen. If we gonna revitalize them, we either gonna do it with our own money, because the banks ain't gonna help us and the government ain't gonna help us, or you're only gonna do it in communities that don't have the money, that can't afford to revitalize the community. So you got to give it to somebody else. I was like, and furthermore, what normally is gonna happen is you're gonna get somebody who is white or a person of color who can get, government funding easier and loans easier from banks, who's gonna get somebody black to sign on to their corporation at the particular time, and they can say they got a black person in it that's owned by somebody that's not black. You know, uh-oh, hey, do it, kid, do it. So this is where we at. The black church has millions, but never invested. But here's the thing, John. The church in itself has a board. The black church is just a faction of the church's board in America. The church's board in America. So they have that old preacher thing where they pass things down. This is what should be talked about this week. This should be talked about that week. These churches, they come together and have their round tables for which direction they want to move all of these churches' money collectively. So a lot of your suburban neighborhoods don't is some of the black churches is part of the funding for that too. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. But I was telling them, I was like, listen, America doesn't want black people to be financially independent. And both of them was like, I said, listen, what are you talking about? I was like, this is the thing. I'm not saying we shouldn't keep pushing. I was like, but you really think that all of these banks, all of these insurance companies, all of these restaurants, all of these grocery stores, all of these tech companies, all of these clothing companies are in business? How can I put this? I was telling them, like, if the minute today is payday, right? So if we get paid today, the black dollar is already out of the black community's hands already. So, but if we have a community where your lender is black and your grocery store is black and your insurance company is black and your credit card company is black, your light company is black, this is going to hit America harder than COVID, because our black dollar leaving our hands in less than an hour is fundamentally built into this economy. So if it goes out of our hands, out of General Electric's hands, or Ford, or Chase Bank, or Kroger, or whatever you want to call it. The same thing I was talking to Asian dude. You think we ain't buying Chinese no more? We buying Chinese from a soul food place. You gonna go out of business, And this is where I was like, this is how I know politics is not the racial part of talking politics at us. People think we silly or we stupid, because I'm like, no, we not stupid. They say Jewish dollars bounce about 15 times, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because Jewish people, the thing about being Jewish is you're white when it's convenient. So it's a Jewish dollar when it's convenient, and it's a white dollar when it's convenient. So, it could bounce around 7 times with Jewish people and 8 times with white people, but they both one and the same. You can't, you tell me the Jewish grocery store and the Jewish gas station and the Jewish, what do you call that? Just they stick together, but everybody sticks together. That's the other thing I was talking to the guys about. We were talking about race, and it was funny because one of the guys was like, I don't like certain black people. I'm like, so? Like, but he kept talking. I was like, listen, man, the issue that black people have with that is, yeah, but Hollywood is one city in America. I could say, okay, the Jewish people, they're at the head of Hollywood, and they're in the Diamond District in New York. Maybe real estate in Chicago. What about Kansas City? What about Dallas? What about Memphis? What about Miami? What about Charlotte? What about Atlanta? What about like one thing we as black people do? We give everybody else a gang of credit. Let me give y'all some game on this too. Just my opinion. One of the reasons I say what I say is because black people in America are the only group in America who basically were able to set up their own shop in America and be independent of white people and actually do it outside of the country. See, when we think about, Tulsa, Rosewood, Raleigh, Winston-Salem, certain New Orleans and Chicago and Springfield, and we think about all the cities that were like little black towns and entities all to themselves. We forget same thing happened in Ghana and in Liberia. You can't ask anybody 316 thanks, fam. You can't think of another group who went from here and was completely independent of white people at a particular point. You get what I'm saying? Like, and what I mean by that is, what do you call that? When we think about Chinatown, people forget something about Chinatown. Chinatown is an amalgamation of all different Asian people. And America didn't, and you don't think about Chinatown having a hospital. Most of the black communities that were all black had hospitals. They had, you don't think about Chinatown having its own school system. Now I know some of them do have schools now, but you don't think about an all Asian college or historically Jewish college. You don't think about that stuff. And with the HBCUs, some of them were founded by us, and some of them were founded by white folks. But you don't think about other, you don't think of a historically Hispanic college. You don't think about that. Hispanics in Chicago used to go to Malcolm X. You get what I'm saying? So that's the issue. And thanks, fam. My bad. Vic, thank you. This is the difference. So in essence, we're one of the groups. Don't time. I don't even know what they said, fam. Don't time them out because I don't even know what they said. So what winds up happening is you have a scenario where what it looks like politically, my opinion, racially and gender-wise, is America does its best to dumb down black men in particular, because black men are the only group in America that has a history of operating independently, in this country. You don't hear stories of other farmers that are Hispanic or Asian or Middle Eastern who can't sell their products, or you don't even hear them having farms in the first place. They're not selling corn, they're not selling milk, they're not selling whatever and whatever. Okay, they must have been really on one, because American Negro, you got them too. What's happening, AL? So now you haven't heard of that, and that was the one thing I was telling the white guy today. I was like, I said, the thing about America's politics is, how can I put? I told him this way. I'm trying to dumb it down, not dumb it down, but say it nicer. I was like, listen, Democrats or Republicans ain't trying to do nothing for us because at the end of the day, can we be treated like immigrants and not pay taxes for 7 years? That's not gonna happen. Um, can we get all the benefits of all the other groups? That's not gonna happen because that's what he was talking about. That was one of the things he was telling me about. He's like, listen, why, they're gonna help immigrants. I was like, what that do for us? Because what he wound up saying is he's like, they're bringing so many immigrants, they're gonna kind of push you blacks out of America. It's like they're not really gonna push us out, but what's gonna wind up happening is this country gonna go broke, and we ain't got nothing to do with it. You just keep. I got you, fam. They can't. The thing that they can't replace. And this is what's interesting about non-black people. You remember when they was in Charlottesville? You will not replace us. You remember that? America has this thing where it replaces itself. What's happening in the United States? Willow, what's popping? And what I mean by that is America has this strange way of outsourcing everything and then saying, you will not replace us. Because I saw the thing about the letting, I want to say 50,000 or 500,000 Indian immigrants into America. And people were like, oh, well, Biden's in office, Kamala Harris, his mama Indian. Technically, she's Indian, so they looking out for Indians. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's one of the issues. The other issue is, India's going to have the second biggest economy in the world behind China. America's going to be third. So guess who you want Indians in America, because guess what? You H1B1 your way out of being a force in the global markets as far as technology. And people forget about that. That's what people forget about. So part of me saying, people want to talk race, politics, and gender at black men, they don't think. Because we're just supposed to be, the cattle of America. We just gotta do everything hands-on. We're not the slave labor anymore, but we're the maintenance labor, the blue-collar labor of America. T-Mac, what's popping? And now you finding something. Now other groups of people are finding something out that they should have figured out a long time ago. Willie, what's popping? Essential, yeah, that too. They're finding out that this country isn't equipped to maintain itself now. And other groups are leveraging the fact that they're more ahead in STEM than us as black men in particular, as black people, because they don't have the same issues with school. And this is one of the conversations I had to have. It was like, you want to talk about race, gender, and politics with black men, and maybe you guys could, you guys aren't ready to take over the country. And it's like, well, this starts with the teachers. This is why I don't understand why black women don't understand why white women vote predominantly Republican for Trump. Or you think, because the sisters act like white men are racist, but white women are not. It's like, how you, I don't know, if you say they're married and their husband is racist, but they're not, something's off with you. Because when your son is in school, whose dreams are they trying to crush as a child? You know what I'm saying? When your son says he wants to be a doctor, normally the teacher that tells him he can't be is what? A white woman. When your son thinks he's smart, Normally, the person that tries to treats him like he's stupid is a white woman. You know, as it gets into more science classes and stuff, it's more white or Asian teachers. Sometimes Eastern, was it Eastern European teachers, who like, you ain't you never get it. So that aspect of it, you should already know this by now. So the thing of why more black men weren't in STEM, that started in school. You know, ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Neil Tyson deGrasse, he said the same thing. Why you don't see any black men being astronomers like you? Because when they was in school, you know, the teachers were hella racist. That's where they came from. You know, but when it's women, it's, you know, what is that? Hidden figures, right? You know, oh, she was a genius, and da, 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 da. Not taking into consideration, black men have hundreds of hidden figure stories in America that will never see the light of day. But we don't think about it that way. Now, the reason I talk about gender and the politics and talking at brothers is what it looks like is non-black people and non-black men want black men to, yeah, take your talking to. They want black men to just agree with being on the front lines for everybody coming behind us to get something. And what I mean by that is politically, you know, these other groups get stuff. Exactly, AL. These other groups get stuff. You know, that's what I was talking to one of the guys about. I was like, other individual groups get stuff. You know, white people get stuff individually. Hispanics get stuff individually. Asians get stuff individually. Jewish get stuff individually. The alphabet community gets stuff individually. You know, immigrants get stuff individually. I was like, but these same people want to act like, you know, if you are black and you voted for Trump, something wrong with you. Well, how come you getting something from my vote and I'm not? And you didn't vote for Biden in those numbers, and you didn't vote, you get what I'm saying? And I was talking to the Asian guy. I was like, you know, the one thing that black people know for sure is the silent majority ain't going nowhere. When Trump was talking to the silent majority, I was like, the silent majority has kids and grandkids, man. They're not going nowhere. A silent majority, you know, if you want to know what the silent majority is as a black person, and you can't do it now, all you got to do is go to any high school, college, or professional game. You'll see the silent majority. The same people that, the same, just go out there and you're gonna have the same people cheering for black people on one side with the same colors and name of the school and name of the team all on their chest and wearing the hat and wearing the colors. Looking at the other team, they got the same amount of black people. Get them niggas. You know, your silent majority is the same people that's wearing what you call that? El Luchador mask, and you know what I'm saying? Painting their face, and you know, all the people who got a man cave, they part of the silent majority too. Go and get online, you know. Yeah, I get that, Patrick. Go and get online if you want to and play video games. Oh, you see what the silent majority feels. You know, start beating somebody in Madden that ain't your same race. You gonna see? Well, no, that's why your daddy left you. Your nigger, like it's gonna come out. We are so tuned in with this country, it's ridiculous. And what I'm talking about is, what's the problem that we have in this society is black men are more tuned into America's racism than everybody else because everybody else is sheltered from it. It doesn't. it's not going at everybody else, it's coming at us. You know, it's coming at us. It's not, you don't hear, you know, you hear white kids, Hispanic kids, Asian kids. You don't even hear black women talk about, you know, if they got bullied. You know, oh, I got bullied. Okay, you got bullied at school. You went to a store, nobody followed you around the store like that. You get what I'm saying? Nobody told you you're not welcome there. Nobody called the police on you when you showed up. You didn't get pulled over because of your race. You got pulled over because you was driving reckless or you didn't have a seatbelt on or something like that. You didn't get pulled over, you know, because they're trying to see if you're trying to rob Wingstop at 3 in the afternoon. See, nobody thinks about this. But you want to talk race and politics and gender at us. And I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. That's part of the issue I was talking about with the Asian guy. It's like you don't take into consideration that, you know, we don't live in the same America. The Asian experience in America is just tea. The Asian experience in America is completely different than the black experience. The Hispanic experience in America is completely different than the black experience. Um, the Muslim experience in America is completely different from the black experience. The white experience in America is completely different from the black experience. And, you know, these people can't even fathom it. And the crazy part about it is, you know, people don't realize that black people think outside of racism, outside of you just don't like me because I'm black. And this is what gets people, that we can think about race and racism, but we can think about it outside of being black. You know, that's what I was telling, you know, exactly, Haru. Like, I was telling the guys, like, listen, I'm black. I don't believe for 1 minute that people don't know what they're doing. I don't believe for 1 minute that these people have, you know, because he was talking to me about Biden. He was like, you know, Trump's racist, and you remember about Trump in the Central Park Five? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, that was some BS. I was like, but you got to remember, you know, I don't look at Biden in any kind of way, because Biden's mentor was Strom Thurmond. And the guy was like, South Carolina? I was like, yeah, South Carolina, Strom Thurmond. You know, he's like, but that's a long time ago. I'm like, I was like, okay, that's a long time ago, huh? You know, Strom Thurmond, you know, like, you know, just like Trump is 70-something years old and we know who he is, Biden is 70-something years old and we know who he is. You know, it's not going to change, you know. And I know sisters don't like hearing this about Strom Thurmond, but it's funny that Strom Thurmond, appreciate it, Eugene. People forget. I ain't even gonna trip on it. Aubrey, the thing about that crime bill, people forget that there were like black leaders, I'll say that, who pushed the government to do something about the crime in the inner city because of the crack epidemic. And that's what the crime bill came on the back end of. You know, I'm gonna get to the Ice Cube thing, because I saw Plies put up a thing, you know, and I don't know if it was real or not, and he put Ice Cube in it. You know, Biden's like Pete Wilson. The people don't even know who Pete Wilson is. That's a shame, though. You know, that's what I was about to say. Strom Thurmond had a daughter. You know, a lot of times politically, brothers know that sisters don't get it, because Strom Thurmond's own children said, "Don't hate my father. Don't disrespect my father. I love my father." And it's like, in Strom Thurmond baby mama. No, I don't think he raped. I don't think he raped her. I could be wrong, but I don't think he raped her. But it was back in the day, so it's absolutely possible. I got one of my great uncles who died. That's how he came. I didn't know he was on the other side of the family he was on. I thought he was on the other side because of his complexion. You know. Oh, okay. He did. Okay. Well, that means Joe Biden's mentor was a damn rapist. That's very interesting. You know. Interesting, a rapist who, but you know what? Now it makes a whole lot of sense. Makes hell, it makes a hell of a lot of sense. Same thing with the gender thing. You know, people don't look at the Kamala Harris thing as like, it's cool that she's vice president, but women are not gonna say part of her rise to the top is she slept her way to the top. People are not gonna say that. You know, people are not gonna say that part. Yeah, that's why you're creepy. Yeah, yeah. I just left it alone. I just left it alone. Producer, what's happening? Prometheus, what's happening? So it's like, this is bad. This is bad, real bad. And then I started talking to him about, you know, what winds up happening is people want black men to be the fall guy for voting. 17%, as they say, voted for Trump. 17%. And I started looking at it and I was like, listen, when I saw the Eva Longoria thing, Hispanic women voted 3-1 for Biden, and Hispanic women are the ones making the decisions in the household. So you got a Hispanic woman, and if I'm not mistaken, what I'm about to say gonna be trifling. If I'm not mistaken, Eva Longoria was married to Tony Parker, right? So if anybody knows who Tony Parker is, the basketball player, so Eva Longoria caught Tony Parker cheating on her with one of his teammates' wives. Tony Parker got down like that. So Tony Parker's dad is black from Chicago. His mom was white from France, I believe. Let's just say, I doubt, appreciate it. I doubt she don't have good things. She probably still got a bad taste in her mouth with Roger, man, thanks. Connect. No, it was. It sucks to say that, but it's public information. It's Britt Barry. You know, so her ex-husband cheated on her, got caught with a white woman. So I know she ain't necessarily with the coalition like that, and I doubt she's with the coalition with black women like that. But this is part of the intersectionality that even the sisters don't get when you're talking politics, gender, and race at black men. Like I said, thanks, Roger. When you talking this, DJ Cooter, what's happening? When you talking this stuff, we don't want to throw it into the mix that, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, these other groups are using intersectionality as a political ploy. Oh, his mom. Okay. I know he grew up in France, so I know. Okay, got you. Appreciate that, AL. You know, even she just misspoke. She ain't misspeak. She didn't expect a pushback because a lot of sisters are doing this. We're the backbone. We voted. We put Biden in office, and this is one of the issues that I look at that black women don't get about politics or race or gender that they don't want to listen to black men about. White women have an agenda. White men have an agenda on the Democratic side and Republican side. Hispanics have an agenda on the Democratic and Republican side. Asians have an agenda on the Democratic and Republican side, even though they don't vote as much as everybody else. You know, immigrants have an agenda on the Democratic and Republican side. They have an agenda before. So this is why you see they don't wholeheartedly vote one way. They vote predominantly one way, but it's enough that, you know, it's at least 30 to 35% of each racial group that votes, say 65% vote Democrat, the other 35% vote Republican. So they got people on both sides of the aisle. Sisters don't understand that. And what guys have been trying to tell them, like, listen, you know, while you affirmative actioning it up, while you double minoritying it up, you know, while you, immigrant empowerment and while you LGBTQing it up, everybody is minority in it up and people of color in it up. All these people are coming in the door with an agenda. And they're using your vote to do it, just like they're using our vote to do it. You know, and that's the one thing I'm talking about, Ryan, because I was clowning with one of the white guys about that. I was like, what's gonna wind up happening is this is how you're not gonna get the rich people to pay more taxes anyways. Because if Biden locks down the country again because of the rise in cases, and I said it was gonna happen, what do you think these rich people if these rich people don't have, which most of them have commercial real estate, what they're gonna do is they're gonna buy commercial real estate right now before the year ends. They're gonna buy some commercial real estate and use that as a tax loophole in this year and the next year before he changed the tax laws to charge them up. And they're gonna already be ahead of the game. Because if you lock down this country again, all these businesses that got these PPP loans that most didn't have to pay back, you know, that kept them in business, guess what? You're not gonna get customers like that because you're right back on lockdown. Guess what? The people who own that land, they're gonna want their money. And you can get out, and on one end, you can get the tax write-off because, hey man, we was in this commercial real estate business property, and you know, the pandemic hit, so I can't be paying taxes on this because of this money. And then you got the people who own the land, like, hey, I own commercial real estate, you know, pandemic, plus the breaks they was already getting. Oh man, you throw it all out the window. They ain't paying a dime. If you're in the middle class, you paying the most. You paying the most. I'm telling you that right now. Anybody making, and it ain't even just the middle class. If you making maybe $250,000 or less, you paying the most. You paying the most. And the reason why I say $250,000, because you could put that could be an individual making $250,000, or that could be a family, you know, with two adults working, and they bring home close to $250,000 or $250,000. They're gonna tax them out the wazoo. See, some of y'all don't realize, like even right now, this pandemic created an environment where, and I've talked about this prior, where say if you got retirement, nest egg, or 401k, you know, any type of tax sheltered plan, if you're under the age of 55 and you got COVID, or you were near somebody who got COVID, or if you got kids that got COVID, you can actually take that money out and not get the 10% penalty because of this pandemic if you're under 55. You still have to pay the 20%, you know what I'm saying, immediately for the taxes. Yeah, man, yeah, you can. Just look it up. Look it up. They have, and I think it lasts until December 31st, if I'm not mistaken. That's the last day you could do it. But these other groups of people, they're going to take advantage of things like this. This, you know, part of these people having these COVID cases, don't think they're not using these COVID cases to put, you know, to go into a tax shelter plan and get money out. You know what I'm saying? Because now they don't have to pay the interest on it. You know, all you get caught one time, Bam, you could say, oh, I didn't work. It affected, if you didn't catch and you got your kids with you at home, this affected my home life. I had to stay home, affected my occupation, all that stuff. All that stuff. The problem that black men face is, yeah, relax. Exactly. Thank you, John. They relax the deferred retirement penalties. You know, so don't think it's a lot of people using that stuff. They're using it. They're not just letting it go to waste. They might be behind, whatever, whatever. The only thing that I would say people got to watch out for, even in that scenario, is if you're gonna take the money out, know if you're taking it out, and you're not going, and it's not one of the things I'm taking it out and I'm paying myself back. Or make sure if you're gonna do that, do that. If you're not gonna do that, make sure you got the right paperwork that you're taking it out and not paying yourself back. Because basically, that firm is gonna jam you up in the years to come. So know which paperwork you got. You know what you got, Shark? Yeah. Oh, minority. Exactly, brown butter. People are not voting their pocket because people don't know what leans towards their pockets right now. Pandemic. Nobody's thinking about how I could use the pandemic to get money. So it's a problem. Ooh, yeah. Hey, that's dope, brown butter. Crab, what's happening? Pay yourself first. Hey, tell them again. But see, people don't know what's going on around them. Like, there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of businesses coming out, fixing your credit. There's going to be a lot of financial literacy businesses coming out. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be working in real estate, as far as people are going to be losing homes, losing properties. People are going to have to sell off. There's going to be a lot of gentrification. There's going to be a lot of people who flip houses in the near future, because people are, nobody took into consideration that what this political climate did, what this financial climate did, because one of the things Biden was talking about is making sure people don't have, is getting rid of people's student loans. The reason why they want to get rid of people's student loans is because those people can't buy any property in America, because they added student loans to your not your credit, but more so your mortgage payment. So they add how much you pay in student loans, pay back per month, to your monthly mortgage payment. So most people can't afford a house. This is why a lot of people go back home, and this is why all these apartment complexes go up, and not a lot of homes. And what people don't want to do, they're too bougie to buy a house in the hood. See, they don't want to buy a $40,000-$50,000 house in the hood because it's dilapidated. They don't want to do that. They don't want to buy something you got to renovate and renew, because they don't want to be around all those quote unquote black people, but not just around us as black people, but they don't want to be around the damn food desert either. I don't want my kids going here eating food here, this, that, and the third. Oh man, got you, Mitch. Got you. So a lot of people would be doing well off if they could, get a 30, 40, 50, $60,000 house or townhome. But them days are vastly coming to an end. And if you notice, I don't see how most people don't see this, but rent is slavery, mortgage is slavery too. It's the same thing now. If any one of y'all try to refinance, that's gonna start your mortgage over from start now. So it ain't, it used to be if you refinance, you just got a lower interest rate for the same amount of years. So if you signed a 30-year mortgage, say in 2000, and you refinance in 2010, the old rules in a sense was you just paying a lower rate for the next 20 years. Now you get a new mortgage, you get a refinance in 2010, you got to pay that mortgage for another 30 years. So now you're paying a mortgage for 40 years because you refinanced. That's what they doing. So the same thing. So they trying to get you, whether you in an apartment, a townhome, or a house. They trying to mathematically make sure you are not in the equation in life. You know, even if you buy a house, you still having to pay. Yeah, you know, exactly. I get it. So now you got a country of people who are not. Yeah, exactly, man. You know, you got a country of people who went to school who can't afford anything because they got student loan debt. And truth be told, if you stop the student loan people, if you clear their debt, you really gonna have a real mass. That's gonna cause a riot in America. That's gonna cause a riot in America. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody ain't eligible for that. They're not gonna make that shit retroactive. Hope y'all know that. Like if you still got student loans from, 98, 99, 2005, that shit ain't gonna help you. So it's the people who just got out of school, oh, I don't have to pay loans. And the other people who paying gonna be like, oh, fuck that. They gonna have a whole, exactly, and Sally Mae and Fannie Mae, all them, ain't finna let you not pay that. Shit. People gonna lose their mind. They gonna be like, oh, that's what we doing? You can't go delinquent. Remember, student loan debt is the only debt that still stays with you after bankruptcy. I mean, if you really want to do something, you change the bankruptcy law. If you're not gonna change the bankruptcy law, ain't shit gonna happen. And I'm a person who I paid off my student loan debt 8 months after I graduated. So just know, talking, like I said, talking politics and race and gender at us, this is why our sisters having a problem, because of student loan debt. Student loan debt is what's going to bury generations of people in America. This is why, part of the marriage and not marriage happening thing is because of student loan debt. It's not just family court laws, it's student loan debt also. People don't want to take on somebody else's student loan debt by marrying them. That's what's going on. David, what's happening? Hey, you got to do what you, hey, we learn late, bro. And y'all should know this, the whole political system. Remember, Obama saved the car industry, right? Can anybody afford a brand new car? How many people in America can afford a brand new car in America right now? Think about that. Back in the day, a Maxima didn't cost you $40,000. An Impala didn't cost you $35,000. You get what I'm saying? Think about it. All these cars are over the top. What's happening with it? Temptation. So now you got student loan debt. You got people who can't afford cars. I'm glad. I don't think about a new car either. Chaos, what's happening? Man, my bad, Chaos. I'm just straight on this phone right now, listening to Teddy Pendergrass. But, it initially started, see, hey, Lamont, you bought that M. Oh, hey, that's a nice ride, bro. That's a nice ride. But I know when you was in there, can't know it. Go out and see how many people go driving in the M. You ain't gonna see many. You ain't gonna see many. And that's a nice ride, nice engine. Salute to that. That's what's a problem. Strawberry 23, that's cold blooded. You know, Yeah, Brian, but the thing about it is nowadays you don't need to buy a new car because cars are so well maintained, well made. If you get the right model, right brand, right year, them shit's gonna last you 200 to 300,000 miles. Like my work car is a 2004, 2004, and I still drive that sucker to work every day. My weekend car, 2017, I want to say. You know, we don't think about that nowadays. But politics, gender, race, that affected everything. Because the reason I'm saying this, y'all, is because I was talking to the Asian guy and the white guy about actuaries. I was like, listen, y'all got an advantage racially and politically in this country because actuaries have y'all paying less. See, right, thanks, fam. White people pay less in car insurance. Asians pay less in car insurance. I think Hispanics pay less in car insurance. Their interest rates, as far as what you call it, not even interest rate, insurance. That's life insurance is cheaper because they're mathematically into the equation that they're gonna have a better, longer quality of life than us. They don't have to take as many risks as us. They don't get caught up as much. The motor smaller, but yeah, that's true. Oh, that transmission. I don't know why people drive crazy though. Yeah, I'm talking about the black tax. But people don't look at it like that. People don't look at it like um, you can have a good credit score as a black person, and but your insurance is gonna charge you crazy. And I'm in Texas, so Texas has the highest car insurance in America. There is nowhere in hell somebody in Utah can own a Lamborghini and they can be 22 years old and I pay more in car insurance than them for two cars. That don't make sense. You ain't play no, dude, Lamont, I bet you if you looked at the rates in Illinois or the rates in Kansas or the rates in Kentucky, you'd be like, what the rates in Louisiana, you'd be like, how the fuck is this? Great driving record. It is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. You all this, you know, yeah. And why it's crazy? I know why it might be crazy, but it ain't crazy like Texas. Because it's a lot of racing that goes on in Texas that can't go on in New York. Oh, I know. I got you, Haru. It's a lot of racing that goes on in Texas. Exactly. Patrick's put it right there. Highest drunk driving cap, Houston. They got visuals everywhere. Man, oh, don't. Yeah, I know, Lamar. That sucks. It's car insurance and is a mortgage payment. Oh Lord, what? Everything in New York is a mortgage payment now. It's like pizza is a mortgage payment out there, you know. But the thing you save in Texas is no state tax. So it's what, like 5, 6 states in America that has no state tax. So that's what, Texas, Florida, Minnesota, Nevada. I don't forgot the other one. Shit, Eugene. Okay, I don't know what the hell you was driving, player. I don't know what the hell you was driving. Oh, I know about Carolina. I got family out, out there, in the Charlotte area. Yeah, oh my God, 1,200. I quit. Cause I know people who, their car note and their car insurance is the same damn price. It don't make no damn sense. And I'm talking about monthly. What's up, Wayman? Ray, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But I didn't realize I was hit on this thing this long. Let me go ahead and get up out of here. I'm just trying to tell y'all what you mean with about eating. Hold up. No, Nevada don't count. Nevada don't count because Nevada's looked at as, you can blame that on tourists. Oh, the prices are eating? Shit. I hope y'all hear what I'm about to say, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. You're about to find out how much politics affect your life, as you know, because other people don't look at it this way. Watch what happens in this second lockdown. And what I mean by the second lockdown, watch what happens to the food prices. Watch. Watch. Because what they're going to say is, since the businesses are locked down, you know, they're not, the gas might, you know, the gas might go up, it might not. Usually the gas goes down in a pandemic like that. You know what I'm saying? But then people won't be able to buy food like that because you can't go to the grocery store like that. So they're going to be used to their profits. So guess what? They're going to shoot that goddamn price up. Because if anybody has ever paid attention in the last 10, 15 years, if you buy any food that you're accustomed to buying, the only thing that stayed the same is pasta, beans, you know, not even rice, because rice keeps, you know, people want to buy different kinds of rice. Water is going up, ironically. Seafood is just starting to, and a lot of y'all not taking into consideration where you at. If you pay attention to your produce, the organic and the non-organic produce is damn near the same price now. I just bought some grapes, $2.98 a pound, organic. Guess what? Guess what the non-organic is? $2.98 a pound. You know, motherfuckers gonna start buying green beans, corn, cucumbers, squash. See, what they doing is everything, because most Americans don't know how to cook and can't cook. All the shit that's cheap is shit you gotta cook. And your ass ain't ready to cook. So now they packaging this shit up, and now a 50-cent cucumber is, you know, $2 because they chopped it up for your ass. You know, that's what they doing. Exactly, Patrick. I go to H-E-B all the time. When H-E-B ain't cheap no more, y'all don't understand. Why you think, you know, I see Aldi's popping up. If anybody don't know what Aldi's is, Aldi is like the dollar store of grocery stores. So guess what's about to happen? They about to jam. For some of us, it's going to be a good thing because some of you going to have to eat better. For a lot of y'all, your appetite is going to cost you your life. Your appetite going to cost you your life, even when you're at home. And that's going to be sad. But let me get out of here, you know, because this is going to spill over into dating, you know, and buying clothes. You know, I don't buy HEB on stuff besides Walmart. I don't buy groceries from Walmart. I'm never gonna buy my food at a place that I get my oil change. You know, I'm never gonna do that. Never gonna do that. No, not gonna happen. 2,000 every 6 months. Oh, got you. You know, your ass gonna be eating ramen noodles. You better get used to it. Extra water. No packet hot sauce. But peace, y'all.